What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper, episode 67 of our 24-minute recaps. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on all platforms at YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast, Apple. Leave a review if you'd like. Follow us on Spotify, and of course, to follow us on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Dime Dropper Pod. I just posted a TikTok tonight making fun of the Antetokounmpo brothers and their jump shots, especially Thanasis, because he pulled up an airball. We had one airball from each. If I was a little more creative and a little more TikTok savvy, put those two videos together and get a little Giannis Antetokounmpo brothers airballing. But anyway, I guess I already spoiled our game tonight. The Bucks and the Clippers from the Staples Center. You know, I was looking forward to this one because last time we played the Bucks, it was a typical Clippers struggling to close kind of game. You know, that was when our biggest, my biggest concerns were made about how we couldn't take anybody off the dribble and that we struggled to get to the rim and get easy shots down the stretch. Paul George had a tough one that day. And I was looking forward to seeing Paul George bounce back tonight, only to find out that he wasn't playing. And you know how disappointed I get when we're healthy and a guy rests or we take precaution, because Paul George and Kawhi are not the most, injury-free players in the world. They have injury histories. So when they're available, I want them to be available. And against a team like this, that's good practice. So I was very concerned when I'm turned on the game. I'm ready to go. 7 o'clock comes around. I check the TV out. I see Kennard starting. I'm like, what the hell? And then I check and see we have a back-to-back tomorrow. I'm like, oh, my God. Does that mean PG is going to play and then Kawhi is not going to play? And that would usually piss me off. But, I would actually be pissed if I was going to the game. That's one thing that I just think is really unfair, regardless of if the team wins or not, because I think that people pay good money to go see the stars. But that being said, Ty Lue has brought this next man up mentality to the Clippers. And we've had that all season. We've gotten wins against Miami, both home and away, and just various wins without our guys. So tonight we saw Kawhi, no Beverly, no Ibaka, no Paul George. And we started out well, and you can thank Luke Kennard for that. Luke Kennard, who obviously Dime Dropper fam knows I've been saying should be playing more minutes for a long time. That's the one thing Ty Lue's really done wrong. But, ever since that Atlanta game, it seems like Ty's been a little more friendly with him. And he was great tonight. Pulling up for jumpers. There was one shot he made where he got into the lane and then he pump faked and went around with the right hand. I think it was against Chris Middleton too. He's a very capable defender, and I was very impressed with that. But then the Bucks, they started, bounce back a bit. Giannis was really good in the first half because first quarter, he was hitting threes. And when Giannis is hitting threes, everything else becomes that much easier for him. He gets to the basket with ease. He had I think 11 or 12 points in the first. Kawhi was pretty good in the first as well, getting into his mid-range area. But the Bucks started to take advantage. We, started to clamp down a bit, and Kawhi started missing. But then who comes in to give that spark off the bench, boys? That man again, the main man, the man of the hour, Terrence Mann himself. He's becoming my favorite player on the team. I swear to God, because you know what I say? I still don't really like Kawhi and PG like that until they get us out of the second round. That's just my opinion. I don't like them because of what happened last year. They have to do it in the playoffs before I actually really like them. They failed first time around. They're growing on me. Kawhi and Paul George, they are growing on me. But just because they're that nice, I want to see them fight for the team in the big time. And Kawhi tonight really led by example on both ends of the floor. Terrence Mann and Marcus Morris Sr. were fantastic. Senior was knocking down shots, mid-range area face-up. I love when Senior just gets into that mid-range area, jab step, pulls, no dribbles. And then we got Terrence Mann attacking the basket. Talk about goat man, Terrence Mann attacking the rim. And then our defense was just sharp. I think Zoo did a great job standing his ground down low against Giannis with his halfback dives, as my friend would say, just running to the basket. And Giannis missed a couple chippies. And I thought Zoo did a good job standing his ground. Giannis didn't play bad. He actually played pretty well. He had 32 points in the end on 10 of 21 from the field. So I thought he was pretty good. But I don't know. As the game went on, I mean, there's the funny part. The Bucks scored 38 points in the first, 31 points in the third, but in the second and fourth quarters, they scored a combined 36 points, which is nothing. We really put the clamps on in the second. And I thought that when we it was Nick Batum was just phenomenal. I thought his rotations were good. He got several steals, just making the right rotation. And sometimes you see Nick, he makes it look like someone's open, and then he rotates at the right time and goes for the interception. It's all about timing, and he fools the defense with that a lot. Nick Batum, 8 points. Wow, it only showed up as one steal, but I could have sworn he had 2. 3 of 7 from the field. Maybe a deflection didn't go to him or something, but I thought he was great. I thought when Kawhi came back in at the end of the second quarter, we kept that defensive intensity up. He did a good job on Chris Middleton and just anybody he was guarding. His help defense, his communication. When I'm talking about leading by example, what I want to see is communication on both ends of the floor. And when I see Kawhi in transition, calling out who everybody's guarding, over there, yo, get out there, you out there, I got here. That's leadership. That's taking matters in your own hands. You're the leader. You call that shit out. And that's what Kawhi did tonight in every way. He helped when he needed to. He loaded up when he needed to. Same goes for Batum. And Marcus Morris Sr., one of his flaws is, can be a little slow laterally sometimes, but he did a great job staying in front of guys like, for example, Drew Holiday tonight, who in the first quarter started out hitting some tough contested jumpers, and Chris Middleton as well. He was able to stay in front of. So I thought Senior was great. And in the third quarter, we really just piled it on. Kawhi in that mid-range area on the wing, love to see it. He even hit a one lucky bank shot. But I don't know if it was lucky. I don't think he was going for glass on that turn over the right shoulder, but he was fantastic in that mid-range area. So was Marcus Morris Sr. And then the other guy, Terrence Mann, as I said, but Kawhi on the offensive glass. That's one thing I loved about our players tonight, our boys. Kawhi Leonard had 4 offensive rebounds, 2 putback dunks. I'm pretty sure it was 2. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. And the main thing that we did so well, and the Bucks thought they could go to a zone in that beginning of the third quarter. And this is when we really took the lead to the next level, because I think we were only up by 2 at halftime. We outscored them 39-31 in the third. That's what really made us get the lead. And Reggie Jackson was able to knock down shots when they went to that zone. It even looked like at one point they were going box and one or something with Thanasis guarding Kawhi. And I think Kawhi just did a great job of attracting bodies, kicking it out to guys. I think Kennard did the same, and Terrence was attacking every time. And that's why I love watching Terrence Mann, because as I said, he may be the key to why we couldn't, the one missing piece to why we're not, we may actually have a chance of winning this thing. And I mean the championship. But getting to the second, past the second round, we'll slow it down. But I'm telling you, what we needed was a guy to take people off the dribble. Terrence, he can do it. No hand checks. So he doesn't even need to do that many moves. All you got to do is just get a step on a guy and extend. Terrence can do it. Terrence can do it. And he has a nice little pivot and turn move. And if you have that, you can get a long way in this league. He was phenomenal again, man. Just phenomenal. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, not forcing anything except for one drive. I don't care. I want him going to the rim. He was plus 19, but Marcus Morris Sr. was just awesome. He was knocking down his open threes when they were going zone, and we were just making him pay from the outside. 19 of 34 from 3 for the Clips. And I'll tell you right now, guys, it's swinging the basketball. Swinging the basketball. Every time finding the open man, knocking down shots, but guys like Terrence, Kawhi, and Luke Kennard being threats. And even Reggie Jackson was hitting floaters tonight. I mean, look at it. Guys, we had 4 players with 20 points or more. 4. That is next man up to the T. Reggie Jackson, 20 points, 8 of 15, and 4 of 6 from 3. Again, Ty Lue has transformed Reggie Jackson. Remember when we benched him? He made it clear he's going to hold you accountable. If you don't play smart, if you come out there chucking thinking you're Allen Iverson, then you're going to the bench. And Reggie Jackson has been so much better picking his spots, not forcing it. He has been fantastic. And he was fantastic again tonight. 20 points, as I said, on 8 of 15. Kennard, he was the one that really sealed the game. 4 consecutive threes in the fourth quarter. One of them was caused by a Terrence Mann offensive tap rebound out to him. Let's look at Luke Kennard's stat line tonight. 21 points in his start, 8 of 11, and 5 of 6 from 3. 5 of 6. But Kawhi Leonard, yep, 23 points. But our high man was actually Marcus Morris Sr. 25 points, 9 of 16 from the field, and 4 of 7 from 3. The Bucks just didn't have much fight in them in that fourth quarter. 19 points, that was it. It was almost too easy. And you know what? It serves them fucking right. It serves them fucking right that they lost because they rested Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Giannis against the Knicks just to play us at full strength. They got their butts beat in that game by the Knicks, and they lost to us. So that's what they get for that BS load management nonsense. So much for giving your guys the best chance to win. A joke. You see what you should have done? Play to your guys because that's what they're getting paid to do. Play basketball. Play your guys. And that's it. Because they probably, every time you step on the court, you have a risk of getting injured. I've said this over and over again. Ridiculous. That's what they get. That is what they get for doing that nonsense. And now they're on a 3-game losing streak. Anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. Half of the 24-minute recap because there's only one game to talk about. I'm not going to get into anything else. I told you we're tuning down the content during March Madness. I may watch some of the Warriors game against the Bulls just because Curry was back and Vucevic played. Celtics, Jaylen Brown missed the game today. He's been missing games recently because of the knee tendonitis. So, you know what? I hope they lose every game that one of their big four doesn't play the Celtics. I really do because that's not a recipe to win at all. You're going to have to play through some pain because Kemba Walker ain't all that anymore. Brad Stevens has not done a good job with this team. They miss shots. They get discouraged. They don't play defense. I don't even need to watch the games anymore to know what happens with them. So that's it, guys. Later, now we go to the live subscribers. Super chats are turned on. Drop $1 or a dime if you're interested. Peace. Clippers, 6 in a row, baby. Screw the Bucks for their load management nonsense. Serves you right. Load management is soft. We're lucky we didn't get away from it today. I'm tired of that shit. And guess what, guys? Because of that, I'm taking a stand, and I'm not going to be doing anything past Clippers and Lakers and a little bit of Celtics next year for this era of basketball. I'm done with it. That's it. And it's only going to get worse. I'm only going to bitch more and more once fans come back, and they're doing it when fans are getting ripped off their money because I don't want to contribute to this, what I don't like anymore. So I'm going to tone it down aggressively and just watch my local Clipper and Laker games and then maybe a little bit of Celtics. But, yeah, I'm probably going to cancel my League Pass subscription as well next season. Anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. Peace. Yo, yo, yo. I don't know enough about the Houston Cougars. Intel Wild, we lived on load management last season. What happened? What happened? Hey, it's not impossible to win with load management. I'm just saying I don't like it. Thank you, Claudio Ferry. I really appreciate you, man. Yeah, Daniel Clifford, go ahead, man. Yep, Gregory Simpkins. You know Luke Kennard. He does it. What did I think about that Baylor foul at the end of the game? I didn't see it. Yeah, I mean, Edgar O. I'm kind of getting sick of the national coverage too, though, except for if it's Chuck and Kenny and Shaq talking about their stories in the halftime or talking about their players. I'm just losing interest in the modern league, man. There's just too many games where I'm wondering who's playing. It's not enough. The effort's not there. The regular season, I've been saying the regular season's been meaningless for a long time, like since I was a kid. That's why I told my dad, let's not go to regular season Clipper games anymore. Let's save our money for the playoffs. But that seems like a shame that I even said that regular season means nothing back then, because now it's an even bigger joke because of the resting. THT and Man have really good all-star potential. We'll see about all-star, but they're good. Kawhi is the number one load management in the whole NBA. Well, Kawhi actually has a chronic knee tendinopathy. He wasn't the guy that started load managing in his prime free of injury after he'd won his third championship and proclaimed to be the GOAT, right, J-Love? Which team do you believe wins the tournament, Raid? Gonzaga. I'd say they're the safest pick. Actually, no. USC, baby. USC. Why? Because I have no bracket and I don't know enough to make an educated pick. So I'm going to make an uneducated, biased pick of USC because that's my team. That's where my dad went to school. That was always my dream school. But your boy didn't have the grades. So we went to CSUN instead and worked our way to UMass from that. What's good, Dime? What's up, Clip Teen 18, my G? Yo, Dime, which cities other than Seattle deserve an expansion team? Great question, Mr. Zeke. My boy, Mr. Zeke, shout out. I think St. Louis because they lost the Hawks and the Rams, rightfully so with the Rams. I think Vegas is a likely scenario because of T-Mobile Arena, but I would like to see St. Louis get a team. And so then we move New Orleans. We get Seattle back, and we move New Orleans or Memphis to the East. Despite nice Clipper wins, are you still disappointed when not everyone is playing? Of course I am. I'm happy that we're winning. I think that here's the thing. As long as we're like the Toronto Raptors of 2019, where we have that next man up mentality, it won't be that big a deal only because the Nets aren't getting continuity and the Lakers aren't getting continuity. The only team that's very dangerous to me are the Suns and the Jazz in the respect of health. So if we play them, maybe it could come to bite us. But I just think we need to play as much as possible. But as long as we just keep racking up the wins, that's really all I care about. But I'm just saying for league-wide, it's hurting the product. It makes me not want to watch anymore because I don't want – if everybody hates when people don't like when I complain, right? So if you don't want me to complain, I might as well just not watch because that's the only alternative. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep complaining because I hate what it's become. I do this because I know the game of basketball and I love my Clippers. I really just do it because I love the Clippers. If it wasn't for the Clips, I'd probably just be working on basketball history content for you guys because that's something we don't see. But my Clippers, man, I like the way we're playing this year. I really do. What do you honestly think of us getting Drummond? I mean, I answered it yesterday. I think it's good because he's a rebounder, but I think Drummond has a lot of negatives to his game. And I think it could pose some negatives on the court too. So it really all depends on how Vogel uses him. I don't think it's the difference maker though, Intel. I think it's all about LeBron and AD being healthy. How do I think the rotation will be when Pat, Serge, Rondo, and Paul George come back? I think that you play Rondo, Kennard, Terrence, Batum, Senior, and Ibaka. But I think, Reggie Jackson, in my opinion, or Kennard, they have to have their minutes split in the regular season. I mean, Rondo's not going to play much in the regular season, but we need to get him some reps. It's tough. We have 11. We can go 11 deep. We can really go 11 deep. I think in the playoffs, Reggie Jackson and Kennard are going to be the ones that are sacrificed the most because of defensive purposes. But Zoo should continue to start. There's no question about that. And then Ibaka should come off the bench like he did in Toronto. Was tonight the best team win given the opponent of the injury since Kawhi came? No. Okay, in my opinion, it definitely was and really showed the team has improved in its play. I feel you, Claudio Ferri. What's it called? I would say the best win of the season was the Atlanta win and the Miami win without the two guys. I think the Miami win was the best. Yeah, Edgar O. The only reason I have the league pass is because I wanted to do my first season of Dime Dropper to show you guys how much of a non-casual I was by watching all the teams. But I feel like because I know I've studied it, I've been so into the NBA this year. Instead, next year I can just watch my teams and then watch condensed, extended highlights and shit. And just in the beginning of the season, figure out who teams' identities are and then just quit it and just focus on our teams. And not pay for the league pass because I don't need it anymore. Kennard isn't going, can't take him out. He's balling. Same with Reggie. Well, you can't take out Rondo in the playoffs, and you can't take out Terrence because defense is much more important than anything Reggie and Kennard do. Mostly Austin. Bro, dude, Maniac, I didn't mean to time you out. That was, I meant to time out the guy that kept saying homicide, and you were right underneath him, and I accidentally clicked you mid-podcast, so I couldn't apologize when I was doing the episode. I was waiting for me to end. My bad, bro. Yo, Bleacher Report. TG Trey 6. TG Trey 6. Are you Trey LIC or is that? No, you're not Trey LIC. Still in the mention of our win from Bleacher Report. Yeah. Guys, I think you already know what I said about Drummond, didn't I? I said that I think he can help, but I think there's some areas where he could hurt because he's not a great scorer. Not very skilled in the post. He's just a bully. Just a bulldozer in the post. He can rebound, though. Not great at free throws. We can handle the ball a bit. USC Trojans, Mr. Zeke. Yes, sir. Evan Mobley. Yes, he is a future starter. The regular season's even bigger joke. Sure you can, Daniel Clifford. You can have me on Twitter. I love Russell Westbrook. I think his legacy will go down as much more of a stat guy that's good in the regular season than an actual guy that can win. He's not, and I love him to death. I've been rooting for him since UCLA. Not even fucking close to a top 50 player to ever play this game. Are you insane? That means that you only care about stats. You don't actually care about what matters when it really counts. Smart decisions and reliable skill. Russ is a lot of athleticism, a lot of all heart. I love his heart. That's why I root for Russ. But even I can't defend some of the shit. Bro, after 2018 and 19 and then last year, no. And this year, as great as his performance was tonight, and I'm happy to see it, he's not going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying it's his fault, but has he been good enough this season to make the playoffs with the roster that they have constructed? No. And neither is Beal in terms of consistent effort on both ends of the court throughout the whole season. He scored the ball, but you need more with that roster. They've had unfortunate injuries. It's the management's fault first and foremost. But if you wanted them to make the playoffs, then Russ and Beal need to be better than that. They're like stars. They're not superstars. They're stars. So no chance Russ is top 50. Are you crazy? I mean, there's already the top 50 that actually happened. And there's like 10 or 15 more that are better than Russ. So he's not in the top a lot. I don't know if he's better than any of those top 50. I have to look at it. No, Kawhi didn't learn resting from Greg Popovich. He has a quad condition. It's quad tendinopathy. J-Love, don't be just talking, bro. Come on. I guarantee you Kawhi don't play tomorrow, though. No, Brian, Rondo shouldn't start. He doesn't try hard enough for that. He didn't even start for the Lakers last year. We got to keep going with Bev. What makes you still believe the Lakers are the favorites as opposed to Brooklyn? Chemistry, because they know each other better. And, I don't think that LeBron has lost. Since 2014, I haven't been mad about LeBron's lack of performance. I think there's things he could have done better in certain series in 2018, 17, all these series for sure. But I think that it hasn't been his fault that they lost. So I would still say that LeBron, I would just have to go with LeBron and AD. And with Drummond, the addition of Drummond, it's three. I just think that the Lakers are the better overall team. I think the Lakers are the better overall team. I think the Nets are a lot of hype. KB Magic, is that my boy Kelvin Billings? Big time LeBron hater? No, he makes me look like a LeBron sympathizer. But no, I'm just kidding. Kelvin Billings, he's spitting the facts. LeBron fans don't want to hear it. How many games in a row did the Clippers win last season? We had like an 8 or 9, or we may have gone to 10 game winning streak before we lost the Lakers in March, I believe. Can AD cover up Drummond's weaknesses? I don't think no, because if the same thing you said about Gasol or Montrez or all these guys, Montrader, no, he can't. He's not two people. I mean, yes, the Laker team can cover up the weaknesses as best as possible. At the end of the day, if a guy's not good at defense, a guy's not good at defense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mobley Brothers, baby. Intel Wild. The TV ratings have been dropping. The TV ratings have been dropping for 3 years. The only reason why they're doing better than ever is because they found alternative ways to make money through advertising, social media. Social media is huge. Twitter, all these things, that spams more than anything. The ratings are down. Is LA a UCLA or USC? It's both. It depends what side you're on. USC is closer to South Central, closer to the South side. UCLA is closer to the West side. I've lived around UCLA most of my life, but my dad went to USC at the time that Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart were there. So I fell in love with USC as a kid. I liked them before I liked the Clippers. Laker Nation, what's good, G? Have you ever been here before, Laker Nation? Never seen you. Yeah, Showtime, Nick. I agree. Is he even better than Dennis Schroeder right now, Drummond? I know he's been an all-star twice, but Schroeder's defense, I mean. I didn't mean to timeout Maniac, guys. Chill. I'm out of pocket, Michael Todd? No, I didn't actually. Maniac. John Lentz, the only reason I get League Pass is because I watch games back, Like for this year, I wouldn't have been able to bring you all the content on other teams if I hadn't had League Pass. So I had it for this year. Next year, no chance. What's up, CW Brooklyn? Good win tonight, man. Playoff Rondo, baby. Brian, you're more hyped on it than most people on Twitter, but I fuck with that because I love the playoff. I like Rondo. I've always been a fan. What do I think about KD, Kyle? Disgraceful. I don't think he deserves any credit. I don't care if he comes back and eats in the playoffs. I just don't think that what other stars in NBA history just basically sit around, put their feet up during the regular season while Harden busts his ass. And then, he comes back and now he's just going to turn it on in the playoffs with this super team. Like, shit's trash, bro. That's not what Havlicek played 48 minutes every single game of a playoff. Like literally the majority of games in playoff series in the 60s, bro. And you want to tell me to give KD credit? Like, fuck no, bro. No. How you do things matters, bro. And that was with and without Bill Russell. And Rick Barry, to win, I don't even know if he had any other, significant superstar on his team that year in 75. I haven't gotten there yet, but, bro, that's impressive. And Dr. J may have had a stacked team. At least he played. And didn't take, yeah. All right, Intel Wild. Peace, baby. 2019 Kawhi or 2020 LeBron? I'm just going to go with LeBron. It's close, honestly. Actually, it's pretty close. LeBron's smarter, but Kawhi was just getting buckets. I feel like Kawhi's a little slower, a little bigger than that now, but I don't know. It's tough. You can go either way with that. Maybe LeBron. I don't know. You can go either way with it. Maybe CW Brooklyn, but I can't stand him. I'm really happy he doesn't play for the Clippers because I don't want someone like that on my team. I don't want a foul baiting, ball dominant, no off ball, pick and choose defense fool like Plumber Jim. No, Maniac Lane. I probably would like him if he was on my team just because he's on my team and he's a talented player. But I just hate the way he plays, and I think he's the epitome of what's wrong with the game with modern basketball in a lot of ways, but whatever. Actually, Maniac, you're right. It depends what he would do in the playoffs. He'd have to achieve expectations, whatever that may have been. Russ is a Ricky Davis with a heart, says old Dirty Dasher. I know, yeah. Harden's definitely better than Pandemic P, and he is a great facilitator. I won't deny that. Yeah, Alex Sims. We may have the best depth in the league. We can't beat a healthy Lakers team in a 7-game series. Man is getting eaten alive. Man's not getting eaten alive by anybody. I don't think you understand what that kid's made of. You know who? Oh, you better watch Taylor Horton turnover because Terrence Mann coming for that fool. He's going to get put in a jail cell. Force him left, and THT got nothing. Bro, watch. You better see Kennard maybe, not Terrence, bro. It's just like Caruso. Defense, there's no substitute for it. You can get in rhythm on that end, and Terrence Mann can go to the rim. He's more athletic than, I don't know, he's stronger than Caruso and longer, taller. T-Man. You're sleep, Laker Nation. Don't sleep on Terrence. Man is not getting no eaten alive. Eaten alive on what end? Because defensively, well, I guarantee you Terrence will guard LeBron's positions, and you guys are going to be surprised. He'll get some offensive foul calls on LeBron or something. Yeah, Harden Kawhi duo would be good. Who has the best hezzy in the NBA right now? Kyrie Irving and Stephen Curry is pretty filthy. Stephen Curry's got a great one. Man, Brandon Roy. That was a name from the past. I love that guy. Do I trust James Harden this year in the playoffs? Yes. You want me to know you why? Because he has so much backup that it doesn't matter what he does. I never denied James Harden's ability to win as a secondary player. But with an already secondary player moved to third, it's very in terms of talent, very Showtime Lakers-esque, but the way he did it just made me lose respect, but we'll see. Yep, there you go. Lakers would still have won the championship without Rondo. I don't know about that because here's the thing. Without LeBron, you guys didn't have a substitute for him in the regular season. That was a big weakness. And when he was able to make LeBron play a little bit more off the ball, and the certain moments that he played well in were so crucial, and LeBron was able to, like, you guys didn't lose the non-LeBron minutes. AD became more valuable because when LeBron came out, Rondo was able to take over that load, playmaking. So I think J Love, again, I think honestly, I figured out with you. You're really biased towards Lakers and LeBron. You're more biased than anybody here because you're the one that always gets defensive. You're always looking to pick out stuff I say that's negative. I keep it real with everybody. I say the same thing about Kawhi I'll say about LeBron. If anything, I talk about LeBron in a much different caliber than Kawhi because LeBron has earned that respect. And you, on the other hand, whenever the second Rondo dips, it's that he didn't do that much. I bet you last year, playoff Rondo, beast, if we look back. CWE Brooklyn. First of all, fuck your Nets. Secondly, I'm not scared of something that we're not going to play. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Montreal again, no chip. Oh. Clippers defense. Let me see. What are we looking for? Clippers defense finally looks like what was promised from the start. Yes. Yeah, right. He'd being honest. I don't think they win without Rondo last year. Defense didn't have to play defense because Howard did it. I think that's just factually incorrect. Nets bring in the most ratings? That's not true, is it? I think LeBron probably still brings in the most ratings, right? I don't know anything about Top Shot, Old Dirty. Yep, LeBron said it too. What do I think of Skip Bayless? I think that he's a character on TV. I think that he actually knows the history of basketball decently well. I think that he exaggerates and loses credibility because he thinks everybody needs to be Michael Jordan and take over every single game at the end to be validated as a superstar. But other than that, he's honestly better than some talking heads. He's way better than anybody that praises LeBron because he actually keeps it real, like with NBA history. To me, the litmus test is about history. If you because all they talk about is the GOAT debate. If you don't know your history of that conversation, and that's what everything stems around these days, then to me, you're the worst. Skip Bayless actually has some knowledge about it. But he definitely is a hater. There's no question. He's made his existence off of it. The NBA allowed Nets to stack the deck because it would make the ratings explode? No, I don't think that. I think it's because it wasn't illegal. Not because of the ratings. The ratings aren't exploding. Raid, you asked me what's wrong with the Celtics. I cover them every single night, basically. There are a bunch of recaps on them. Check them out. I don't need to repeat it all the time. You know what's wrong with them. Oh, you meant Matt Leinart at a Hermosa bar? That's the boy. I love Matt Leinart. I already answered your question, Maniac Lane. Yeah, Showtime Nick spitting facts about Rondo. Dime, keep the same energy for LeBron. What are you referring to? I always keep the same energy for LeBron. Big Zoo needs a few more touches, Dime. I feel you, Kelvin. I agree. Yeah, fuck the Nets. Less swept. Is Kevin Durant the softest superstar in NBA history? Yeah, probably. LeBron's not too far behind. But Kevin Durant is the softest by a good amount. Dime, I'm not just talking Greg Popovich is to blame. He rests all his stars. That was when they were old, though. I agree, J-Love. Popovich started it. I agree. The resting of any kind he started, but they were old. They were old. Yeah, Wilt did average more minutes than an average game one season. Was Mickey sweeping mouse? If the Nets win the finals, I want Harden to win finals MVP, even though I'm not a fan of him. He busted his ass all year and kept the Nets at a high seed. Okay, I feel you on that, Niona T. I feel that take. Low key, I may have to agree. You know what I want? I want Kyrie Irving to win finals MVP because then the LeBron fans would be hilarious. Because the revisionist history would do it dirty for LeBron. He won finals MVP with a different team. I'm rooting for that now. Kyrie to win finals MVP would be hilarious. But Harden would be fine too. I just don't like Harden. Right. I agree with you on that. 2018 LeBron over 2019 Kawhi. I think LeBron was two ball dominant at times in that playoffs, but he was so at his offensive and confidence peak, and that's the most important things to me, confidence. So I'd give him that. 2018 was his best version. But I think you can argue 2013 because of the two-way nature of him and less ball dominance, which made him better. His team played better. And it's not just because of the personnel. It's because of buying in. It's not just because of personnel. Right? Of course I'd like it if LeBron was on my team. He's an all-time great. But I'm happy that he's not because it illuminated me to the truth about him. Because I made excuses for him for so long. I was like, all you guys making excuses. If you're making excuses, you're being a little soft, bro. He's not that competitive. He wanted to have Kawhi on his team, and I don't respect that. I grew up with Kobe. Sue me. Sue me. That's all I got to say about it. He's an all-time great, though. And I don't think any of his rings are bullshit. I just think the way he did it is not as admirable as some players of the past that he's compared to. And I think his fans are literally what's making me not want to ever do basketball media. They're the worst things to ever happen to society, and I can't wait for it all wiped off this earth after he retires. But and the media is awful. But LeBron himself has done great things off the court. I don't like what he's done to the league in terms of the player movement. I like that he's giving players a voice for other things outside of the court, like, fighting for the black community and stuff. I like that. But yeah, that goes that question. Yeah, more casual Clipper fans will hate Rondo until the playoffs. Yeah, because they're stupid and don't realize he doesn't care about the regular season. Foul, Showtime, Nick. It's partially the rules of the NBA. Yeah, man is greater than THT. Hey, Claudio Ferri, we're moving the ball well, but 2014 Spurs, different breed. They're champions. KP Magic, you said man way better than THT? CWE Brooklyn, so you're saying that the league is fixed, that the Lakers and Nets are going to play each other in the playoffs? Dime can impersonate NBA announcers. He can hit the falsetto. He's got jokes. This man can do everything. Get out of here, G. Dime's TikTok, it's just Dime Dropper Pod. How is Pat Bev going to fit into the lineup? He does his job. Bro, did you just call Terrence Mann a scrub? Laker Nation. First of all, what Laker fan thinks LeBron's the GOAT, bro? You guys are crazy. Really? Over Kobe and Michael Jordan and Magic and Kareem? Like, do you know how many people you have that can be considered the GOAT? This man has won one championship for you in the Mickey Mouse League, and you're calling him the GOAT? A Laker fan? A Laker fan. You have to have recency bias. There's no way. Most Laker fans I know like the Mamba mentality. And even if they admit that LeBron's had a better career than Kobe, they don't know about that Jordan, bro. Stop. Laker Nation? First of all, Terrence Mann ain't no scrub. You better chill. Action Jackson has some hezzies, yes. Taylor Horton turnover. Lakers on that THC. Lakers on that THC. Sorry, guys. So many comments. Favorite artist? I'll answer that another time. Sorry. Alex Caruso was the Lakers' third best player. That's debatable. Hey, Dime. What's up, Jonah? What's up, Dime? Laker fan here. And Loki salty, you guys got Rondo. He might get off to a slow start, but will facilitate on playoff time. Thanks, Carlos Ruiz. I feel you, and I agree. Laker Nation, you keep bringing up stuff about last year. This is a different Clipper team with Ty Lue. This is a different Laker team without Dwight, without JaVale, without Avery, without health for a long period of time. You never know what can happen, man. You're speaking a little prematurely. I'm not saying we're going to beat you, but don't count us out this season, man. We're a different team. Terrence Mann is, I'm telling you guys, this guy is not a joke, bro. You can't substitute defense. You don't understand. You don't understand how bad it was when we had Lou Williams and Reggie Jackson in the game. And Shamet. 3 guys that their defense is reliant on them making shots. And Montrader wasn't good at defense. That's a recipe for disaster. Terrence and Batum, their problem is like the biggest problem with Batum is making shots. I don't give a shit about that. If you know where you're supposed to be on defense and you make the right passes and just are a threat to space the floor, that's way more important than making shots. That's in the playoffs. You need to stop people. You need to stop Batum and Terrence are going to be huge this year. And Rondo, oh my God, we're so much better built for the playoffs this year, honestly. I can't wait. But I can wait because that's going to ruin my mental health. Like always. If the Clippers meet the Nets, who among the big three of the Nets is the scariest for you? I mean, take your pick at this point with those three, but Durantula, because he's literally unguardable when he's on. But you can say the same thing about all of them in today's league. You can't guard without touching Harden and being physical with him. You cannot stop him. Kyrie, he's smaller, so you just got to force him to take longer jumpers contested. Durant, there's not much you can do about stuff he does sometimes, but we have to get to the championship for that. So. For sure, Daniel. I will check Twitter when I'm out. Yo, but the NBA and WWE not looking too far apart tomorrow. Hey, let me tell you this. If Kawhi misses tomorrow's game with knee soreness, this is WWE. Dude, J Love. Rondo missed the first round against Portland. You know what you're doing? You're doing the classic, he's not on the Lakers, so I'm going to minimize him. It's a classic Laker fan defensive tactic. You play more defense than the Lakers, then yeah, I couldn't make a joke out of it because the Lakers play good defense. Oh, a Brooklyn fan saying who Nets isn't as scary as y'all think. Jacob, I already answered the question about Drummond. Sorry, man. I already answered the question about Beverly, too. Oh, I love De'Aaron Fox, Alex Sims. He's fantastic. He shocked me from the night that he smacked Lonzo on the Sweet 16 and UCLA team that I really liked. He's a beast, bro. Floater game, explosive, tall, defends. His jumpers come a long way. It's just Sacramento is just a dying place for these players these days. They haven't been good since my first year watching basketball, 506. I like De'Aaron a lot, though. He's a beast. I don't think the Nets defense is going to be that bad when they do that switch everything. But, man, Laker Nation with the bias. Your Clips have no chance of going to the finals. That's excessive, in my opinion. Of course it's possible for us to get out of the second round, Kyle. Kevin Durant can't carry anything to the finals because he has a lot of artillery in his back. Clips versus Nets, book it. Chris Bouchard's not bad. He's pretty good. He's not terrible. He can be very like mainstream, like with the Jordan LeBron, but he's not bad. KV, of course you do. Skip the God, always bringing the heat on LeBron. Love Skip, of course you do, Calvin. You bigger LeBron hater than me. I'm not even like it. I don't even think I'm a LeBron. I just hate the media and everything attached to him. I hate what he's done in the game, and I hate what his fans think he actually is. But like, if people were kept it real on LeBron, then I wouldn't be hating like that. But like, if everybody was like you, Kelvin, you're a little excessive, but. No, I'd be keeping it. I just like the game of basketball, all eras. So if most people that are into the history of basketball think that what LeBron does is not like it. So I guess that's it. Like modern fans are different. Man, I don't know if the Lakers have the deepest, most talented team in the league. I don't know if that's true. They're up there, but I think Laker Nation, you're starting to show your Laker Nation bias. Do I think Kawhi has passed people like John Stockton all the time? It depends what you value. Stockton, longevity and stats is incredible. Kawhi's peak, I'd say he's the best part of the championship team. Yes, he probably has. So it all depends on what you value. For me, Kawhi. I think just that championship alone does it for me. I know he wasn't playing against Jordan, but a ring is a ring. You know what though? At the same time, I didn't watch Stockton yet, so I can't really give you the answer. But he has 2 Finals MVPs. Like, I'll give him that just because he won against Golden State. Like, here's my thing about Stockton. I don't believe the whole it's all because of Michael Jordan he didn't win the championship. Like, bro, he had 20 years or so that he played. It's not Michael Jordan every time. So we'll dissect it though. We'll dissect it. We'll see if he had a worse team every single time, then we'll talk. But I don't think so. Of course, I'm happy Scipio and the Clippers win. No, I don't think Rondo's going to start in the playoffs. Facts, KB Magic. He just doing LeBron started in 2010, but he took it to the extreme. The thing about KD is with that Golden State was completely unfair, in my opinion. Nets, not so much, because he didn't really do it like that. It's not unfair at all. I just think it's ridiculous. But I agree, KB Magic. Or Kelvin. Dirk has the most valuable. What about Hakeem? Dirk definitely is up there. Laker Nation, God, I hate the Nets. You guys already hate the Nets so much and you haven't even played them. It's so funny how you get mad at people that do the same thing as LeBron's shit. Oh my God, Raid, relax. If LeBron fans ain't ever going away, that'll be disgusting. They need to get destroyed. Bronny, let's see if he makes the league, bro. I know people that actually have played with him on the same team, seen him. Like, let's see. He'll probably make the league because he'll have a growth spurt of his dad, but I don't know, man. I don't know if that he's young, but I don't know if that kid's gonna be anything close to his dad. Anything close. At this point, LeBron was already a prodigy. Bronny is LeBron's son. Do you think the Suns and Jazz will lose their seeding to the LA teams, or do you think they'll finish as number 1 and 2? Jazz for sure finishing number 1 and 2. Suns, we'll see. Clippers are on their tails. We're on their tails. Am I more rings or rings, though? Sure. For them, not for the fans. Are you more nervous about the new look Nuggets, the Suns, or the Jazz? Nuggets. Because the Suns and Jazz are not new look. I'd say the Nuggets. But the Jazz, over all those teams, I'd say the Jazz this season. But Nuggets second. I'd say I think the Nuggets over the Suns. I really think they can beat the Suns. Oh, okay, Daniel. I'll just get to the end. Who do I want to take the last shot? Kobe or Jordan? Haven't watched enough Jordan. Can't tell you. Probably him. Facts. CWE Brooklyn spitting the facts on LeBron. I don't think he had a chance to win in 2018, though. I think you're being harsh if you think that. I think he had a chance to win a game or two. Game 1 and 3, I mean, game 1, he did everything he could. J.R. Smith screwed it up. He did have Stephen Curry on a switch, and he passed the ball. George Hill missed 1 free throw, probably because he was out of rhythm. He wasn't touching the ball. LeBron was hot. Nobody else was touching it. And then in overtime, they kind of quit and were deflated. In game 3, I think they should have won. LeBron kept switching off of Kevin Durant and letting Kevin Love get on an island with him, which is ridiculous. But and then he quit in game 4, so we know that deal. But why do I call the Lakers the evil empire? Because they are. I mean, they're the Lakers, guys. Do you not know, like, everybody hates the Lakers worldwide? Like, this is a thing. Besides their fans, they're the Lakers. They get everything. They've always had everything. They've always won. They're the most arrogant fans. All that. They're the evil empire. Are you kidding? Come on. I mean, they always get, not always, but it seems like they always get the benefit of the refs and this and trades and all that. Part of that's because Jerry West is a genius, but thanks, Claudio. I appreciate you. This fool said Alex Caruso is the GOAT. Oh, God, man. There's so many comments. Jesus Christ. Facts, CWE Brooklyn. I told you real Laker fans don't say LeBron the GOAT. That's facts. Facts, Raid. Most people actually believe that LeBron is better than Kobe. Well, I actually disagree with you on that. Most people, yeah, I guess you could say that. Most people, the popular answer has become that, but that's because the media has manipulated you to think that. Because Laker fans that have had both of them on their teams have a little bit of in between. I don't know. I mean, I have a little bit. Me probably I go with Kobe, but the career LeBron's outdone him. It's a great argument. It's a great argument in my opinion. I just think that the reason why most people believe it is because of the media, because they started doing this even before the fourth ring. First of all, he doesn't even have as many rings as him. Secondly, just because he has one more Finals MVP before this year, like before this year, they were doing it. We're not talking about 4 rings. We're talking about 3. They were doing it. They just overlooked Kobe completely, um, because obviously it's not convenient. They didn't like Kobe like that. But if you ask most hoopers, you ask the actual players that played in the NBA, they have very mixed answers. Very mixed, if not in favor of Kobe. Remember is the NBA getting better and better? My friend used to ask me, why don't the hoopers say Kobe's better? I mean, why do the hoopers say Kobe's better? And I'm just like, I don't know, they're biased. And I'm like, yeah, like not seeing the fact that no, the players are just saying their opinions. The media is as an agenda. Yes, you beat the Blazers without Rondo, J Love. You can keep trying to discredit Rondo for what he did for you because he played for the Clippers. It's like nobody had doubted your ability to beat the Blazers. Yeah, Showtime Nick, facts. Quite a lot of viewers when the Clippers win. Your all-time top 3 Clippers players, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Elton Brand. That's my 3. Bro, first of all, Laker Nation. See, this is you being naive. We didn't have Avery in the bubble. Wait for it. That's okay. Fine. Fact. JaVale and Dwight barely played in the bubble. That was done purposely against the Rockets to match up. Against the Nuggets and the Heat, they played. Vogel did what was needed. Stop. You're acting like Trez, Dennis, and Andre is all of it's an automatic upgrade. You're looking at it on 2K. Are you not watching the games? What happened to Paul George? Oh, he was said he had a sore right foot that he had the same one that he had bone edema on. That's true, Niona T. The pressure isn't on the Clippers at all this year like that. At all. Nobody's been talking about them except for us here at Dime Dropper. We should be worried about the Jazz besides the fakers, Wilson Santos. Do I view Dr. J as a top 15 player ever? I love him to death. That's my guy, UMass Minuteman. I don't think I don't, first of all, I don't have a list, but I don't think he will be. Although I don't blame you if you think that, if you think he can, because his impact on the dunk and what it's done for the NBA, he made the dunk cool. He changed the game with that. So there's an argument, but I don't think so. Just because he never won as the best player consensus. Just my point, just my view. But I love the doctor. So I wouldn't get mad. It's all subjective with that one. Like Dr. J, top 10, 15. It's all up to your criteria. Laker Nation, I've never seen you on here. I give LeBron his props, but I don't think anyone said anything that's crazy right here. I don't have nobody said anything that crazy. Come on, I understand you guys aren't anything but haters. No, you're really biased. Clippers can beat the Lakers. How the Lakers just completely fall off the map, barely beat the Magic and Cavs without LeBron and AD. With Kelvin, without LeBron and AD. Come on, that's not indicative of anything. No, a fan and a fanboy is not the same thing. A fanboy of one person. You're a fanboy of that person. A fan of the freaking of a team, that's different. You ride or die for the name on the back. You're there, win or lose. You're there after they retire, or there's no one to care about to retire. You see the game as it is. Fanboys that follow one man, that shit weird. Because this is a team sport, not an individual sport. I understand liking individuals, but liking them as your thing, like that's just weird. Because you know what you care about? You want them to play well. You don't give a fuck about the winner or the loss. Deep down, you know that's true. Because if they play well on the stats, they usually make excuses. That's what the Wilt and LeBron apologists do. And the Westbrook apologists. No, Rondo's not starting, man. He's not. He's too lazy for that right now. Steve Nash needs to be fired? Jesus. You think so? You guys are playing well, though. What does PG need to do to redeem himself in the playoffs? Get out of the second round, man. Yeah, Showtime Nick, you're right. Magic was wrong. Magic was definitely wrong. Magic fell into the hype. Magic's casual now, though, man. He don't be watching like that. You can already tell. But it sucks because it doesn't make him seem as smart as he actually is. I didn't actually think he was that smart of a player because he's such a, like, says the most basic shit. But, man, when I watched him play, I was like, bruh, this dude's a genius. I've never seen anybody like this before. He's like, it's one thing to be like one step ahead of people. He's like 2 or 3 steps ahead of people. He is wild, bro. And then, like, he already, like, can do something that's unexpected, but then he just puts a little extra on it. Man. Yeah, my thoughts and confidence on PG is not that high. He's done better this season, Carlos, but I agree that as good as Kawhi, I think Clippers' success hinges on him. I also think hinges on Kawhi being able to close games. I don't. Tom Brady's the go to my era. That's all I can say, Jonah Kim. Facts. Thank you, Raid. I appreciate what you just said. You're not a LeBron hater, Dime. I'm just not. I don't like him. That's not a hater. You actually give him credit when it's due. A LeBron hater so doesn't give him props. I do root for him to lose just because it's toxic with the fan. Here's the thing. I'm a Bron sexual hater. Not as much with LeBron. And I'm a modern media hater. And a modern NBA hater, you can say. I am not LeBron still is an all-time great. Facts, CW Brooklyn, about the media. I like that Maniac Lane. Jordan, Russell, Kareem, and LeBron. That's good. Only thing I like about LeBron is his playmaking. Dime Jumper, how long you been a Clippers fan? Well, you can watch this video. It's called Why I'm a Clippers Fan. It's on my channel, but 16 years. You can watch it. It's there. It's one of my first episode. I talked about it. It's one of my most liked videos, so you can view it. I don't think Rondo's gonna start in the playoffs, guys. He's not in syncing up with the team. He's not good enough defensively. I think bench, guys. J Love, you guys got Dennis Schroeder to replace him. And you have Andre Drummond now. It's a different team. You'll never be able to prove that they'll be able to win without him. And we'll never be able to prove the other side. The fact is they didn't win, they won with Rondo. That is facts, Bill Abbasi. LeBron is one of the greatest ever. The fact that you can even be considered one of the greatest ever anywhere close to the is impressive, man. Is impressive. To be in the discussion with these guys is big. I'm drunk waiting on food. What's up, Maxwell? Yo, I'll tell you what, Niona T, though, the Lakers' three-point shooting is of a concern of late. Kuzma, not too consistent for me. KCP, if they don't get him involved early, bricks. LeBron's a little decline in that three. AD without the bubble, I don't know. Caruso, not much. Wes Matthews, inconsistent. Marc Gasol, I'm living with it. Schroeder, very good player. Three ball, Walt Frazier, baby. Happy birthday, Walt Frazier. Had to shout him out. Happy birthday to one of my second favorite point guard, third actually, because Chris Paul and Magic, but third favorite point guard of all time. Top 5 point guard of all time for me. Best player on a championship team. Ooh, is he though? If you have Steph, Isaiah, Magic, Jerry, and Oscar, then you'd be 6th. Top 6 point guard consensus for me. I like him more than Jerry and Oscar personally because of his defense and because I've seen him beat both in a game that I watched, but he's probably not better than Oscar and Jerry all the time just because of the longevity and because they really carried franchises for a long time. But goddamn, though, that Frazier, he's the man. Jordan, last shot easy. And I love Kobe, but Jordan, says Kelvin. Jazz could easily make it to the conference finals. That Bob Pettit is underrated as hell. He's one of the best power forwards of all time. Top 10. Beat Russell. Only person to beat him in the finals. Laker fans getting hyped about Drummond is like me getting hyped about Taco Bell. Dennis Johnson. Good shot, Bilal Abbasi. Extremely underrated. Pepperdine wave Dennis Johnson. Top 3 NBA Twitter accounts. No such thing. NBA Twitter is not what I affiliate with at all. I hate NBA Twitter. They're a bunch of idiots. I'm part of a section called basketball Twitter. If you have NBA Twitter, that's when I know you're like one of those kids that L ratio, common L, and make the like you disrespect old players, the group that loves stats and analytics, and like says Isaiah Thomas is worse than Chris Paul. Like that shit's garbage, bro. That's not me. Yeah, legacy peak, resume stats, eye test. It all depends what you value. You were too young to see Kobe playing his prime? Man, CWE Brooklyn, I'll tell you what. It was something else, man. It was something else. KB Kelvin says, been watching NBA for years. I can attest. I've seen his profile picture. He looks older. Kobe is greater than LeBron. Jordan is greater than Kobe and LeBron. Brian, were they trash for 8 years? No, the Lakers were trash for 5 years. It was only 5 years, not 8 years. McAdoo was, yeah, before LA. McAdoo's up there. Bob McAdoo's great, but he's Buffalo Braves, so like, I don't know. Rondo was Alex Caruso's backup. He totally served a different role. J Love, what? Yeah, I agree with Jordan Kim. Again, LeBron being top 3, 5, 1, whatever is all about opinion. His argument is about being the valuable player on many teams. Other players have arguments. Thank you, Jonah Kim. Well done. Of course, I'm worried about playoff P. Cheats are always. Rondo played against the Rockets, and he played against the Rockets already. He destroyed them. J Love, you're the ridiculous one. Yeah, Maxwell, bro. I may shed tears if we make the conference finals, man. It means so much to me. I've been through so much torture with this. First season and the last. Do I think Kawhi is past Steph Curry all time? I'd probably take Steph, but I think it's a good argument because Kawhi's 2019 championship is more legit to me than anything runs that Steph had. Because to me, Kawhi still played against the real Warriors team with Clay. He missed one game and a quarter. Let's say he wins that game. I'm still taking my bets with game 7 with the Raptors. They got the job done. Steph Curry couldn't give us one quarter to close out the game at home when he had the lead. Steph's with LeBron and with LeBron, they didn't play any starting point guards for a full series. That Warriors team. I think that's the easiest route to a finals championship ever. Not ever, but that I've seen. Maybe ever though. Bro, Laker Nation, again, it's because Vogel did it on purpose during certain matchups. No, Gab, nobody cares you're not a fan of a team because if anything, that makes you even less biased than all of us. Magic or Kareem all time, again, depends on the criteria. And again, I can't answer that for you. Kareem, Magic, Kareem, Magic. It's funny, you guys are all going back and forth. I'd say Kevin Durant over AI, but I don't know. AI's one run. Like I gotta see. It's just I gotta see, man. Yeah, maybe the Rams can go all the way. I don't know. Dime Dropper fan? Who's that? When am I gonna come out with some new videos? Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully soon. Julius Irving, Raid Chattering. No way am I taking KD over him. It's an argument, but I just can't respect anything KD's done after the OKC. I can't, bro. Dr. J let the good come to him with Moses Malone. And the doctor, I don't know, man. He's a little more of an alpha to me. I love the doctor, man. He's so incredible. You don't need to be called an old head to say Dr. J, Gab. I'm taking him all day. Walt Clyde Frazier, swishing and dishing, weaving and achieving. He says that. I never heard that one. Bound and astounding, Emmanuel Quickly on the reverse. That shit's funny, bro. He talks funny. I don't hate the Lakers the most at all. I say this current rendition of the Lakers I hate, but the Nets right now. Actually, no. Jazz and Grizzlies are my all-time, always going to hate them the most. Darren Williams is my guy. No, I can't believe Draymond hit a logo 3, really? There's a myth that Shaq carried Kobe in the finals. That is facts. Did Kobe even get carried? Wasn't that game 4 where he had a huge, after Shaq got fouled out when he played great? Facts. Dime Jumper fan. I agree with you. As I'm maturing, I don't really like the word carried. You have to have at least some type of help to win a championship. That is true. Oh, I absolutely think he can do. New Orleans Rondo was a little better than this. I think he's aged a bit and had injuries since then. I think he can do similar things, just not at that big of a scale. Curry's definitely clutch. For sure. He just choked in game 7 in 2016. Happens. Man, Edgaro, you're like my uncle's age. Who are these winning the Champions League? Chelsea. No, I'm just kidding. Although I will say this, I get into real 2012 vibes this season, man. Because, new manager mid-season, just like 2012. Not a very good team, but the field is a little open. I don't know. You never know. That'd be so funny, though, if we did. May not even make top 4, but 2019 Lure, 2015 Blake. Are you kidding? Come on. 2015 Blake was a beast. Yeah, James Harden fans are not. Well, they're not as bad as LeBron sexuals, but they're bad. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain not being in the top 10 J Love is just disrespect. I'm sorry. It just can't. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's just not knowing enough about the Sixers. I used to do that too. I used to not even know where to put them. KD is special, but what about Kobe said it best though, Kelvin? Like, it's not, don't look at what I did. Look at how I did it. How can I respect what KD did as a competitor? How, bro? And then I go to summer camp and see all these kids want to play on the same team. They learn from him. Look what has happened. Yeah, bro. The doctor. Come on, man. That's the doctor. And what about, don't forget, who has a case to be better than Dr. J that no one talks about? Rick Barry and Havlicek. People don't talk because of the 70s. Bro, they have a full-on case. Havlicek's resume, go look it up. And go look at the stats, bro. That fool's crazy. He's crazy. I wouldn't be saying that he didn't win without Russell. If he didn't win without Russell, I wouldn't be saying it. But he won without him. So those guys, man, they're all up there in that small forward debates too. Oh, man. In the finals, Dwight and JaVale made 0 impact. That's because you went small with AD at the 5. I like that list. Wow, Kareem below Kobe and Bron. Interesting. Jack Sikma. That shit's so funny. Jack Sikma is a good center. He's a starting center for the 79 champion Sonics. He can shoot the ball from mid-range. He can shoot the ball from fairly deep, honestly. I don't know that much else about his game, though. Kevin Durant or Scottie Pippen? Kevin Durant. I'd take Kevin Durant over Pippen, but Pippen, I mean, you can argue if you just look at the career, you can argue Pippen because the 6 rings and being part of that is incredible, and he's more versatile than KD. But KD's better. KD's better. He's more of that dude. So I'd say Kevin. I'd say Kevin over Scotty and James Worthy. The small forward that have won the best on a championship team, and then the doctor are the ones that you can argue over Durant to me. Like Durant's still top 10 small forward of all time to me, but like like Rick Barry, Havlicek, Dr. J, Bird, LeBron, like they really did that. They won as the best player. Even Kawhi, even freaking Kawhi Leonard did. Kevin Durant didn't get a ring like that to me, bro. If Kawhi was able to just go 5 out with no help defense, bro, you'd torch. You'd freaking torch. Oh me, oh my, what a monster jam by Blake Griffin. Classic Ralph. Sham it for 3. Bingo! That's classic. Havlicek, for sure. No, don't retract your message. Don't retract your message. And all of them. KB, just between you and me and you other 50, I don't respect how do I respect LeBron? I don't think LeBron had any foregone conclusions, but I don't respect LeBron that much first of all, I don't respect LeBron as a competitor at all. I respect him as a player and as a man and a talent. Same the way I respect KD as a talent. Do I respect LeBron as a competitor? Fuck no, bro. He's part of the reason why the NBA is not competitive anymore. You kidding? I just have to sugarcoat some of those statements with some of these guys. But no, it's the truth. It's the truth, bro. Because here's my thing. It's part of it's the salary cap, not just LeBron. But when I was a kid, the 2 best players in the league were Kobe and Bron. Nobody in a million years would have ever thought they would play together. In today's NBA, it's a real possibility that the 2 best players could play together. It's honestly a possibility that 3 of the top 5 players in the league could play together today. That's how uncompetitive we've gone. And when did that start? 2011. Havlicek for sure. Bro, Havlicek played 48 minutes in every single game in a 7-game final series, bro. So, like, that's fucking wild. And he has one of the biggest steals in the history of the game. And he has 8 championships. And he played for 16 years in the 60s and 70s with no medical advances, none of this bullshit. That fool is the man. Whoa, CWE Brooklyn. That's when I have to call timeout. Celtics rings in the 60s ain't no better than KD rings. That's false, bro. There was not unfair. You just don't know about the other team. Do you know who Hal Greer is, bro? Just answer me that question first. Do you know who Hal Greer is? Answer the question. Because if you don't know who that is, that means you just don't know enough. Because the Celtics were not as overwhelming favorites as you think. John Havlicek would average 30, 10, and 10 in the modern era. If you can adapt, yes, I agree. I mean, Havlicek could do a bunch of things that players today now do, like come off screens, come off screens with the ball, without the ball. Yeah, it is the Dimes intro. Shaman for 3, bingo. No, I think playoff P will do better this year. Wow. So KB Magic, you got Wilt over Magic and Bird? Really? Okay. Oscar Robertson's also underrated in the GOAT conversation. Yeah, facts. That's true. Oscar Robertson's great. Elgin, he's fantastic. Incredible. People back then say he was the best they've ever seen some of them. Why do I have Kobe over Bron? Well, I used to think differently, but as I got older, I changed. Because I realized that when I watch Bron play and I see how lazy he can be, and I see how he just kind of holds the ball and waits at the end of the shot clock to pass, and he's not willing to play off the ball. And then I go back and watch Kobe play and the effort and the intensity he brought every fucking night and how much he cares every second with the skill and the degree of difficulty on the shots that he makes. It goes against who I am to say that LeBron's better than him. It just goes against who I am because who I've become. Because I would never pick somebody like that over somebody that, like, bro, this guy won a championship with Gasol. Like, he complained and all he wanted was 1 star. That's all he wanted. 1 star. And like, it's just like how much he cared, man. How much he wanted to like it's not like losing for him. It's not like disappointing. Like he hated it. He couldn't lose. And like that's a different level of will to win to me. That's a different love and just absolute different competitiveness to me. And that's what it all comes for me. The confidence is everything. And Kobe's confidence was way even too high sometimes. But like as I've just gotten older, man, Kobe was so right about so much shit. He was so right. I took it for granted. Really took it for granted. I used to say LeBron was better and all that stuff. It's a great debate, but just who I am, man, I can't. I just can't. I understand it though. I mean, LeBron's had a better career. I think if you look at it on a piece of paper, LeBron's had a better career. There's no question. But that's and by the way, I'm not answering who I think is better. I just that this is my prediction for when I watch everything. I don't answer these questions full on. Facts. Showtime Nick. I'm happy you said not the undisputed best player on a championship team, but he was the undisputed best player on a team that made the finals. That is a fact. And he did it extremely young, too. Mike Green is great. Eric Collins of the Charlotte Hornets is quickly becoming famous. What did you say, Andrew Irvine? Where did it start? Kobe Shaq? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you're trying to defend super teams now. Um, Hal Good and Chet Walker and Billy Cunningham. Don't forget. And Luke Jackson. That's like 5 All-Stars. No, they didn't. Stop. CWE Brooklyn. From now on, I'm not gonna answer any one of your questions until you watch the NBA getting better because you're wrong. 50s and first of all, okay, let's remove the 50s rings. Let's just remove them. First of all, there was never 6 teams when the Celtics won any of their rings. Okay, so don't be spending inaccuracies. And the last one they won with 14. How many did they win with 8? Less than majority. I'll tell you that much. Less games? Incorrect. Not true. Only less games in the playoffs, but the same amount of games in the regular season. Celtics didn't have Hall of Famers. The only one was Havlicek, Hall of Famer, playing off the bench, and so did the Sixers. Do you know who Billy Cunningham is? No, you don't. I bet you don't. Everyone, the casual takes, nah, bro. And Frank Ramsey, Casey Jones, and Satch are only in the Hall of Fame because of Russell. First, and plus, less rounds doesn't make it that much, doesn't necessarily make it easier. Only if you're talking about wear and tear. And first of all, they're playing far more minutes than today's players, far more. Less commodities and technology for recovery and chucks and all that stuff. And that's so fun. It's such a lazy argument, bro. The laziest of them all because the talent was more condensed. So the top teams had multiple star caliber players. It's not like today, watered down. I think Terrence Mann can make a huge impact in the playoffs because he can take to the basket and play defense, which is invaluable. Dime, do I have any playoff series I could watch? Did you watch the 1980 finals? No. First of all, CWE, you got nothing to tell me, okay? I know more about basketball you can know in your life right now. So, especially about the history with the Celtics. You gave yourself away. So go watch my videos or you're not going to get question answered anymore. KB, and even more against other teams than the Lakers. The 69 Lakers should have beaten them. Of course, I'm a Clipper fan. Phoenix, what? You knew? Nope. Debatable, Raid. I think he's had more opportunities to be the guy, but it's debatable. Yeah, it's hard to compare the 50s because there's a lot of white guys, no shot clock. It wasn't the 60s, so it is hard to compare Mikan. Mikan is, see, the 50s are what heads like CWE Brooklyn thinks the 60s were. That's the 50s, not the 60s. No, him and Duncan retired. Jonah Kim, the league did lose something. No, no. The Celtics had the ability to draft and stack. What about everybody else? Yeah, career-wise, Phoenix, I give you that. But player-wise, debatable. There's only 8 Celtics have the ability to draft and stack. No, every other team had the ability to draft and stack too. The Celtics just got the right guys. And they also had Bill Russell. No, that's not true, CW Brooklyn. Again, false narrative. You can keep saying it. The Philadelphia Warriors had Tom Gola, Paul Arizin, Wilt, and then Guy Rogers, who was also an All-Star later. So that was 3 All-Stars to combat the Celtics 3 of Heinsohn, Russell, Kuzi. Actually, no, 4, Sharman. If anything, they only had one more All-Star. And then when they played the Celtics, first of all, the Celtics in 69 were the 4 seed and 1. That was the lowest seed. So that's incorrect. In the 66 season, they were the 2nd seed. In the 68 season, they were the 2nd seed. So some of these are just factually incorrect. Anyway, Oscar Robertson, Jerry Lucas, Wayne Embry, Jack Twyman. These guys were not scrubs. Yeah, Hornets announcer does go bananas. You don't like Eric Collins? That's a crime. Chill. No, first of all, again, CW Brooklyn, really terrible takes here. You're wrong. Because the season after Russell left, the Celtics didn't even make the playoffs. What had to change was they got Tommy Heinsohn. And you know what's funny? They still didn't make the playoffs the next year after that. JoJo White and Dave Cowens had to develop. And then they brought in Paul Silas to win a ring. Years after, they reloaded completely. They didn't have JoJo or Dave Cowens with Russell. So stop with the false narratives, bro. Somebody like me that knows basketball history will check your ass out of here with that shit. You can't pull that bullshit off. No, see, Phoenix, you're not know what the definition of a super team is. Now you guys are changing history again. The super teams weren't just ring. First of all, if you want to do that, let's go back to the Rockets with Clyde and Barkley. If you want to do that, that's not what a super team was. That's them ring chasing at the end as old vets. Guys, super team was created after the players started colluding. It became a thing in 2011. Nobody can deny that. No, how many times do I have to ask her if Rondo can still start? No, you didn't do research. You did the same research I did, and you looked at Basketball Reference. Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Julius Erving. How about that for top 3 in-game dunkers? Terrence Mann sucks? Okay, you'll find out the hard way. Well, take away, even if you do, first of all, even if you take away the 50s, actually, no, it's CW. I can't answer that. I'm not going to answer that. No. Phoenix, oh, you look too much into the stat. That's because Kobe didn't care about his efficiency. LeBron did. Kobe just, what for Kobe was even a bad shot, really. It depends. Depends on circumstance. But Kobe was the best tough shot maker ever. And his field goal percentage was fine. First of all, his field goal percentage is not atrocious. Since when is 44, 45% atrocious? And what about the era that he played in? He played in one of the least efficient eras ever from the 2001 to 2004 and still dropped 30 a game with hand checking and defensive 3-second violations. And I should say no defensive 3-second violations. So it wasn't a clear paint like that. Stop. Contextualize these things. It's all about stats with Bron. Kobe didn't give a shit about his field goal percentage. All he cared about was the next shot. So totally different. One didn't care about his stats. One did. So if you want to go on stats, then LeBron's going to win. That's what he prioritized. Kobe prioritized winning, and he's won more. No, the 73-9 Warriors is not the GOAT team. They're not even close to it. They didn't win. Yeah, he could have been 12-0. I used to think that CWB Brooklyn about the 60s comp, but it's not. You actually can make an argument in the late 60s that it's even better than the 90s in terms of condensed. Bro, you don't understand how many stars these teams had on each team, bro. The Celtics were stacked. Those Sixers teams, bro, with Hal Greer, Chet Walker, Wilt, and Billy Cunningham, bro, that's like an all-star starting 5. Bro, Billy Cunningham averaged 30 points without Wilt. Do you understand how good he was? It was like the 4th option. Bro, those teams are nasty. The Knicks had like Walt Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe, Jerry Lucas, Dave DeBusschere. Like they were all on the same team. Jerry, Elgin Baylor, Jim McMillan, Wilt. These were stacked teams, bro. Oscar, Kareem, Bobby Dandridge. Like there was all like 3 all-stars. So like I just don't buy it anymore. I'm more talent by numbers all the way through the league for sure. More people in the league, but the mid to late 60s is very competitive. Especially, I think the whole 60s, but the mid to late, next level. And Raid, again, I'm going to have to ask how old you were because you're changing the definition of a super team. If you want to talk about a team with 3 or more All-Stars, that's been around since the 60s. But that is not when the super team was coined. I'm old enough, so you can't pull this shit on me. In 2011, that's when the term super team got started because it was a player that colluded in free agency to build it himself. That is why it became a thing. No, J Love, it's not that most of the best teams used to have first round. It's because Red Auerbach and Jerry Buss finessed picks, and because somebody else. Yes, thank you, KB Magic. Younger fans really disrespectful to Bill Russell. He's the most disrespected of them all, of the goats, by far, and it's the media's fault too. Again, no, it's not a bad take on a T. It's your opinion. I don't know. Maybe you guys didn't see it. I don't know, man. Did somebody say Kobe's peak is way higher? I said it was comparable. You'd argue that. I'd argue differently. I'd argue guys that play off the ball are better than ball dominance. 2010, arguably, in Iona T. 2009? 2008? Come on, son. I don't know about that Phoenix play because LeBron wasn't a closer early in his career. Kobe was actually a closer. Neither of them were reliable at the foul line, LeBron and Shaq. He would have been playing against much more physical defenses with more congested paints. So there's no actual fact of that. I'll tell you what, though, give Kobe his own team. Watch him put up those stats. I can guarantee you that. So we can go both ways with that shit. So anything. No, 13 Brown was great. He did prioritize winning and he won more. Look at the way they play. I don't know if you cannot tell that Kobe cares more about winning and wanted it more and wanted to literally take his opponent's head off. Then you're missing something, or you're just clouding your mind. Because I was like you. I was actually no. Even when I was a LeBron fan, I didn't deny it. I didn't even deny it. I just thought that LeBron's talent was too much. But I just looked over things so much. I just didn't go over the intricacies of the game. I didn't realize what it was like to be off the ball. I didn't realize how detrimental it can be, even if you're great, to just be constantly on the ball so many times. And plus, effort is everything to me. Tough shot making. It's just adapt to everything, man. Oh, hell yeah. I'm not forgetting Willis Reed. Jerry is a badass. Bro, you really calling this is funny, but Laker Nation is calling Terrence Mann a scrub, and you're jerking off over TH turnover. Bro, just wait till THT sees Terrence. I promise you that. Yes, Kawhi stays with the Clippers long term. Tim Duncan is seriously disrespected, but not as much by people that know basketball. Yeah, it is a bad take, Johnny. It is a bad take. I just don't respond to pro Kobe, anti LeBron stuff because it's what we need in this world. Because too many people are manipulated by media like yourself. Anyway, yeah, I feel you, KB. That's what I'm on to. About the eye test and just what I value as a player. First of all, don't give me that should have won Defensive Player of the Year stuff. Marc Gasol was great. I need some proof, bro. I need some proof with that. Kobe's a better defender than him, point blank. No, I never said he doesn't want to win, but he definitely doesn't. I mean, he doesn't care to compete. He wants the easiest way out possible. It's not disrespectful, Johnny, because it's the truth. He said it himself. I've always been recruiting. Ask me if I want to play with this guy. Ask me if I want to play. He wants the easier way out. He wanted out of Kawhi, bro. So stop with that devil's advocate stuff. Kobe isn't even half the playmakers. LeBron is. LeBron deal with those shit Cavs. First of all, there weren't shit Cavs teams. They just weren't championship teams, and that's fine. I don't think Kobe takes the 07 Cavs to the finals either. But it's not about participation trophies of who does better with a worse team. That's not what matters at all. It's because how about this? Is Kobe shitting the bed in his 8th season in 2011 like that? How about that? You want that? Is that happening? Because here's the thing: Jason Kidd took the 2002 Nets. Is Kobe not doing that? Right? Right? Come on, I will eviscerate all you LeBron defenders every second of every day. I will destroy you guys. First, yeah, facts, Laker Nation. I don't know B-ball. Get out of here, son. Get out of here. If you wanted to come and get on my line, I will expose you. You sound dumb. Everybody here knows it. Eye test is not an opinion. Eye test was when we here's the thing. You say eye test is an opinion. It's not an opinion because if you actually know basketball, you see what other smart people that know basketball say. There's this whole thing about the eye test is subjective. No, your criteria is subjective. The eye test of noticing what somebody does well on a basketball court is common knowledge of basketball. If you don't know that, then that's not my problem. But it's very clear when you're with basketball minds who's doing shit right and what's not. And I tell what Kelvin is a basketball mind. He comments on my shit. First of all, no one's going to stop shit. The GOAT debate will never end until anybody First of all, until anybody passes Bill Russell with 11 rings, the GOAT debate's never ending because he will always be the argument there. So until that happens, nobody has no argument. Definitely a little bit, Johnny. I'm sorry, CW Brooklyn. Clippers have no chance anymore? No, it's not saying first round exit's better than a finals appearance. I'm not on that shit either. I'm not on that shit, but I'm saying this. No, first of all, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I don't care who gets you further on a shitty team if they have no chance of winning the championship. That's my point. That's what people praise LeBron for. I don't care about that because they were never going to win. Nobody thought they were actually going to beat the Spurs. I thought they had a chance, and then they couldn't close games. Anyway, I know you're talking about the defensive player of the year between Mark and LeBron. I think Mark's defensive, the 2013 Grizzlies were fantastic. All right. First of all, I don't need to have shit for a list. I don't need to have nothing. I don't need to have nothing. I don't need to have nothing. Because all this shit is subjective at the end of the day. And none of your shit is, all these lists of who's better, this and that, is all. Thank you. Thank you. I don't have to have any list. Nah, I'm not staying on. This is an hour and a half live, so I'm out. This has been too long, but that's peace. Peace out, y'all. Thanks for joining me. J Love, I'm fine with that. Let's crown Bill Russell right now. Nobody's gonna get 11 rings. Let's do it. I'm down. I mean, bro, his case is the best in my opinion, low key, because nobody will beat him. Nobody's gonna beat his. He's got the best case for me, but Jordan's got to go in too. Anyway, that's it. 7 of 28 in the clutch. So you're picking and choosing when clutch is, bruh. What about the 20? Oh yeah. What about the 2010? Wait, Phoenix, huh? You remember Game 6 in 2010? Do you remember that? What about 2004? All right, Bill Russell played against Plumbers is where I draw the line. Peace.